Hey guys, what's going on? This is Cheney 180
The Fallen Fed. Hey guys, what's up?
It's 80s, baby. What's going on?
and you're listening to another episode of They're Not Dolls.
The Quickie Mini 46.
Quickie Mini 46.
Yes. What up, chat amigos? Be sure and clock in.
Man, a lot of stuff happened today, huh?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. But we're not going to talk about any of that right here today. Because today is Throwback Thursday. Ba, 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 ba. So, yeah. We'll talk about it, tonight at 9 p.m. when you guys
Yes.
could tune back in?
Yes, we will.
Okay. Unless, no, that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna go back on it. We're gonna take a trip in the DeLorean and go back in time. How does that sound?
Let's do it. I wonder what you would get if you typed into the Googleator Star Wars Toys of 2000.
Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna do it right now.
Same ones that we got today.
That's what I wanted to show. So we could technically kind of still talk about it today. No, for reals. Like, let's see what just pops up. I mean, that was my only thought so far.
Okay.
What's up with the chat amigos? If you guys have hit that thumbs up, shared it, what's your ideas for today? Throwback Thursday. You know this is a fun one.
Mhm.
Dario, what do you got on the mind?
Well, I was gonna post up some look for if we had any Inspector Gadget toys back in the day, since we had that reveal yesterday.
That was
Yeah.
my second thought.
Yeah, no, Gadget didn't really get any toys.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured.
Yeah, that was that's actually like a what is it? I want to say Michael from Retro Blasting. He always talks about that, how Gadget didn't get any like legitimate toys.
Wow, look at all of this. Okay, those two Lego sets on the side, I sold those for a grip of money.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You're despicable.
No, that's what the market was worth then.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember that clone trooper that was undressed with that speeder bike. You remember that one, huh, Cheney?
Let me see. Where's it at?
Underneath that boba.
Oh, yeah. That's funny that you said that because that's exactly what I was looking at. And you said it. I'm like, what's he talking about? Yeah, no, I think I had this. Yeah, and it was the power of the Force speeder bike packed in.
Yeah. Like disassembled
Yeah.
in a package.
Yeah.
I mean, see, we got some really cool things. And then him with just like his removable armor, which was then still cool too.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what came up when you typed it in. So I remember those. Are those? Oh, no, it's not, huh? I thought those were the flashback cards. Remember where you pull the tab down?
Yeah, that would be these ones right here, like the Jedi Force file. Here you've got the what is it, electrified battle droid.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Dario, I know you don't do that much Star Wars. Is any of this familiar to you?
No, not at all. Nothing.
None of these?
No,
No.
I don't care about this.
Man, there's so many freaking horror stories about all these. The nights that we would go at midnight and everything and fight for all these.
Phew.
Yeah.
What was it? Was this the this was no, because it was, I want to say when they did the first probe droid, that was actually earlier in like what 95, 96. That was one of the first deluxe ones, right?
The single by itself that was kind of just there, right?
Yeah, the probe droid. Yeah. Yeah, this is like, it's funny to like say this, but like this very like He-Man inspired line here, it's kind of what got me into Star Wars. Like I remember watching it and stuff, but like these like orange carded figures is kind of like what got me like really like wanting to know what was going on. Like it was like I'd seen it here and there, and I was like, yeah, no, I kind of, I remember that stuff kind of, but it wasn't until like this line of figures came out that I was like, hold on. So that character and that and this and that. I'm like, hold on, let me watch this movie. I'm also okay. So Star Wars is the first one I watched, and then Empire, and then Jedi, and then I just watched them over and over and over and over and over again. And it's just funny because like this is where I started with it. It was in like to get these, and then like the Shadows of the Empire stuff, and then like it just like threw me into the EU stuff. So it was like, oh wow.
Yeah, the EU stuff came in after this too. Those were the purple card ones.
It's such a shame, like that the EU has been treated the way it's been treated. Like it was such a just like plethora of amazing storytelling.
Man, that Boba Fett right there at the bottom there is that was the 300th figure, I believe.
Yes.
Right, number 300.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. And you still had a lot of 12-inch. That very first picture of the double pack of the Vader in the mall. 12-inch figures. They're Shadows.
Yeah. I remember I loved this Luke figure right here. This thing was bad.
The one in the red? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Imperial Guard one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You got Dash Rendar, Shizor, that gangster-looking Chewbacca.
Yep.
And then this was a short run. There's a Leia in there too. Leia was a repack.
Even I think Boba even got a purple card, didn't he?
No, he was the 2-pack. 2-pack right there on the left with IG-88.
That's what it was. I remember.
That's what he was in. And then you have the swoop bike, and this actually got shown into the cartoons. Yeah.
I forgot all about these 2-packs. It's funny because the 2-packs, they were basically the normal figures, but they had re-sculpted like one or two of the limbs. So I think this Boba had like 2 straight arms, unlike the normal release.
Yeah, see it right there? Yeah.
And then same thing with the Vader. He had like a bended knee.
Came with the comic book.
Yeah, this stuff was fun, man. That's what it was. No, the Leia and Bausch came out in Shadows first.
Oh, was it first? Then it got repacked the other way?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
got you.
I remember because I got that and like, man, I was so juiced. I was like, that's so awesome. Because it had that like removable helmet and
yes,
I love that feature. And then we had the Dash Rendar Outrider, which
I was never able to get that. I did have the Slave 1 though. Yeah, that was a whole concept one right there, and then that whole Dash Rendar, and then if you played the video game on N64, man.
Yeah, we played that game a lot.
Your day was awesome. You went to the store, you got these, and you came home and played Nintendo 64, Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah.
That was a day.
And then we had this Slave 1 here, which had this like super small Han and Carbonite that came with it. And it wasn't until later that we got the, figure with the Han and Carbonite. And from what I heard, there's a lot of this stuff that's actually reuse from the original Star Wars line.
Yes.
See, I didn't know that because this was basically my, jumping in point here.
Yeah, no, that a lot of it was.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. What we got going on in that chat? What are our chat amigos up to?
Dario, you got it?
Yeah, sure. Thick Nixon here. Smash Labs. Ronald Ramos. Thunder Crow. Sean S is in here. Keith Frost. J. Rue. Donovan's Art. B. Rivera. Colossal Customs. Lago Figs. Yo Mitos. What's going on, bro? Mervine.
Yo Mitos. Yo Mitos are the best.
Deskis Pro action figure photography, right? Where is it? Yeah, that's what it was. Laser pants. Johnny Cinco Dark Bulb. What's going on, everybody? They're just talking about the stuff you were going through with the Star Wars things.
So here's a throwback. I know you remember this, Dario. This publication here from the past.
Oh yeah, man.
Good old Nintendo Power.
Used to love when they had like the codes in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, do you know how much I miss magazines?
I still to this day I really miss Toy Fair, man. Like Toy
Yeah.
Fair just was like, it was funny because in Wizard, like the whole like Toy Fair section became like at one point it was like half of the magazine of Wizard.
Mhm.
And that's why they're like, let's just do Toy Fair by itself. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, you know what? Let's go look at some Toy Fair covers. How does that sound?
Dario, were you a magazine guy?
I remember Nintendo Power and probably one other ones, but I used to just regularly collect and subscribe to the Source and Double XL.
I had Nintendo Power, Game Pro, Tips and
Game
Tricks.
Pro, yeah, Game Pro was the other one.
Tips
I
and
remember
Tricks. Do you remember Tips and Tricks?
Was that in the back of the store?
No, that was a video game one. It was.
Oh, okay.
Hey!
And then Toy Fair, Lee's. Oh God, this is gonna make me cry.
I don't remember. What's Toy Fair? I don't remember these.
Oh my God, dude.
It was a magazine solely dedicated to figures.
This is how you found out the price of your stuff. This is how you found out what was coming out.
Yeah. There,
Oh wow,
back,
really?
Yeah, this was back, when there wasn't really any legitimate internet that you could, there was no Instagram to hop on and figure out what was dropping. You had to go here, buy this, and you would know what was coming out. Like they had the scoop on everything that was coming out, and you're just like, oh wow. So like in this, like you would have, they would announce new stuff, and then they would, do like a lot of like top 10 stuff, and then they had the what is this again? The Twisted Mego Theater, where they had like a little comic in there.
And then it became Twisted Toy Fair Theater.
Yep.
The covers were legit. What we would be posting up now as our thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is their freaking cover. I had from number 1 all the way to the last one. And then we moved and she threw them all away. Yeah, I have a couple of the last ones saved. I actually, this is how much of a nerd I am. I still actually have one sitting in my work truck.
Oh, nice. I've still got some laying around here, there, and everywhere myself.
Yeah.
Like,
So you'd open up, Dario. You'd get a little bit of news of what was to come, what would be showing up at Comic-Con. You'd get that top 10, like Cheney was saying. In the back was your price guide, as far as everything was out, even variants. You get these little comic strips, and then a little preview of next month.
And they even had a custom area in here.
Uh-huh.
Yep, where people did customs. Yeah, it was a good time, man.
And then Lee's was the other one, but Lee's was for my guides.
Mm-hmm. Lee's
So-
was more price based.
But like that one, I still need to show Adam one day. I have the Lee's Gentle Giant with all the Star Wars bus and everything they've ever put out.
Yeah, so like this one right here, you've got, the old pre-Marvel Legends, Spider-Man figures here, and these two were in like the first wave, and this is, predating Marvel Legends. This was like the Spider-Man line before Marvel Legends kicked off. This is kind of like what got everything rolling into Marvel Legends.
That Venom it looks so familiar, like I've seen it before.
Oh, I'm sure you have. I remember that it bugged me because it's like, he's got the symbiote half on, and it's got some weird articulation. Like I think the elbows were like swivel joints, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure, but
It's so funny because you wouldn't take your a phone with you in the bathroom. All your magazines were in the bathroom.
yeah, yeah. Like there'd be a stack of Wizards and Toy Fair for me. It was just like there we go.
Yeah.
Like dude, like you'd like get home from like the store or something with the new one,
Yep.
and it would be like, all right, I'll see you guys in about 20.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it was. Like
Toy Fair, tips and tricks. So then, like, you knew the toys, and then you got the new blood code for Mortal Kombat,
Mm.
and then you're just like, your weekend was set.
yeah.
Look at the turtles. See that turtles page, Mutant Mayhem?
Oh yeah.
Look at that. So see, Dario, this is how we found out everything.
That's great. That's awesome.
And then, of course, when you were at the store,
Was this like a monthly thing?
yes,
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they put it out monthly, like, it was, man.
Look at so are any of those got actually released?
Yeah, all of these were released, I think.
They were. I don't remember the Moose Man up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at my comic shop. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the what is it?
Is that a camel underneath him?
Yeah. And then looks like a dragon pterodactyl looking thing. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
These are like all like Dimension X figures and things like that.
Yeah,
Moose Man was like towards like the end of the cartoon when they just started making everybody all like wonky characters and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I had Ace Duck, I had the Triceratron, I had the Napoleon, I had the Scumbug, I had the Wingnut. Yeah, I had 5 of these, so I was only missing the the Moose and the Sandstorm and the Lionheart. Yeah, those are the only 3 that I'm like not very familiar with. The other ones I had.
His name was legit Lionheart.
Yeah, King Lionheart.
That's Care Bears.
Oh, you want to talk about Care Bears now, Ernie? Were you really?
No, I'm saying Lionheart was Care Bears.
Oh, I was like, that's Jean Claude.
How different we take everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, with the Tips and Tricks magazine.
I was excited for the up, down, down, left, right, BA start.
Select. You forgot Select.
Look at that Baroness. Oh, I remember that. Look at that.
She looks very sad.
The year of G.I. Joe.
So let's talk about what is it? I don't think we've talked about this before. Was DC Superpowers? You remember Superpowers, Ernie?
Yeah, I thought you brought this up before.
Really?
Yeah, maybe your first one. Dario, am I wrong?
I don't remember.
Oh, you know
see.
what? We kind of touched on it because of the Superman jet. That's what it was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and these are not it. These are the Mattel redecos. So, yeah, I never had the Hall of Justice. I never had the Batmobile, but I did have like Superman, Green Lantern, Flash, Hawkman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman.
Oh, I'm with you.
Robin,
I never
Batman.
had no extra stuff. It was all figures.
Yeah. I don't think I ever had any of the vehicles for Superpowers stuff at all. What we got going on in that chat there?
Let's see. Dudley Do-Right's in here. Jesse Lewis. Felipe's in here also now. Dudley Do-Right said Hasbro's gonna have my girl leave me.
Hasbro's trying to
break happy homes.
Yeah, well, they're trying to cost more than a girlfriend. Dropping all these pre-orders every day.
Sean S is in here dropping bombs like always. Let's see. Nick said, "You guys are a toy fair now."
Wow.
That's a huge compliment.
Yeah, that's
For real.
That's more than
Yeah.
that's more than I'm comfortable with.
Right, exactly. Same.
Beardy's in here, and he made a comment that actually, Cheney, I sent you a message that maybe you should look at it and tell me what you think.
Okay.
Let's see. Mervine said, I had a ton of
Ooh.
magazine subs, Double XL, The Source Wizard, Import Tuner, Honda Tuner, Super Street, and Trasher. Yeah, I had Super Street and Honda Tuner and Import Tuner. Double XL and The Source. I have multiple paper bags filled with them in my in-laws' attic that I need to get one day, but hopefully they're still there.
Right.
Let's see. Sean S. said, Wizard and Toy Fair was my jam. Jesse Lewis said he misses Toy Fair. Sean S. said the good old days.
Mm-hmm. They definitely were.
Yeah. He's like, the cause is in here. He said, I haven't seen. Oh, never mind. He's talking about Felipe. Felipe is asking if anyone else not finding the Baby Yoda in the wild.
Yeah, right.
Unless you pre-ordered it, you're not gonna find it in the wild, because the only places that you might be able to pick it up if it's not sold out is probably GameStop, and I doubt that.
Yeah, it's I've not heard or seen of anyone even finding them in the wild. So
yeah, that's, if you didn't pre-order it, man, I think you're like out of luck with that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs one?
Felipe.
Okay.
All right.
What up, Sean? What up, Beardy? What up, everybody in Chat Mingos? Print Rabbit wants to know, Shaney, are these 70s or 80s?
These are 80s.
Yeah.
These are 80s figures, yeah.
Were they that cheap? Did that sticker that you had showed of that Superman one was that, did that say $1.99?
I don't think they were $1.99. I don't remember because I was
either.
still pretty young back when those came out.
And so what made me say that was, were these that cheap? That's why we had so many? Like, it was one, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, go ahead, grab one.
I don't know, man. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
be.
everybody had a bunch.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember these.
I'm trying to find the ones that I think the little spring Mario there. I remember that.
Oh, I always wanted that one. I never got it.
Yeah, I had like quite a few of those.
What the heck is a Sonic dude doing in there?
I don't know, but I had that too. Yeah, these, I didn't know that they released newer ones, so I'm just kind of like, oh, what the heck? I thought I was digging deep here for a minute, guys. I apologize.
It's all showing last year.
Yeah, I'm all, wah, wah, wah. Yeah, no, those. We'll go back to superpowers. How does that sound?
Yeah, Donovan's Art said there was a Superpowers comic to go with the toy line.
Yeah, they had little comic books in the
and some of the packaging. Yeah, some of them, not all of them. I love the Superpowers Batmobile. That was Sean S.
Yeah, that one was cool. Yeah, like this one right here, Martian Manhunter. I had that, and he had the little comic book in the back. And I remember having a bunch of those little comic books just laying around everywhere. Like, I remember being a kid not knowing who Martian Manhunter was, but I had him.
All right, Beardy and Sean S. got to go, man. Thank you guys for checking in with us today.
All right, you guys have a great night. If you can hop back on at 9, we'll be back.
Later, guys.
Have a blessed day. And then this was weird because they had these other ones too, these little packed versions. Do you remember these at all, Ernie?
Which ones were you going to? That Wonder Woman right there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, wasn't this more pick and save?
I want to say yes, but I don't know.
Sprouse Rights, whatever that was.
Sprouse Ritz, I believe.
Was it Ritz, right?
I think it was Ritz, yeah.
So I think just like now how they get that kind of stuff, I want to say that this was Pick and Save's version of getting it.
Yeah, I read a article a while back of a guy who was helping his mom like clean out her house, and in one of the kitchen drawers there was like one of these and a, what was it? I want to say it was a what Star Wars figure was it? Is one of the old Star Wars figures, but it was these, and they were in the drawer of the kitchen, and they'd been there for since the 80s when they were bought, and she'd put them in there for her son for his birthday and forgot about them because they were on, you know, like a discount. And so he was helping her clean it out, and like they were still perfect because they'd been in, you know, in the house the whole time and never seen daylight
Oh
for
God.
something like 30 years or something like that. And like he just pulled out this like mint on card, like old like Star Wars figure, and mint on card it was Superman, but with the
Uh,
little package like this, just crisp as could be. Like he had all kinds of pictures of it and stuff, and it was just like that was like one of the neatest stories I think I'd ever read. I was like, that's so cool, man.
Yeah, the
uh,
Superman I have looks like the packaging on the Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
really?
Yeah, the little small one. It wasn't like a big one.
Oh, all right.
That's awesome.
What? Who was in here? I just read somebody. Oh, Jesse Lewis had said before that he had the Wonder Woman. He would love to go back and get the rest of them.
Mm-hmm. They're
Yeah,
expensive now. They're real expensive, especially if you want them in like a decent condition and stuff. Like people ask a lot of money for them now.
Whoa, what the heck?
Jesse
Yeah.
Lewis just asked a question that's gonna get answered by all of us. It says, if you can go back in time and buy figures, what would you get?
Oh man. First off, thank you very, very much for that very generous super chat. Thank you so much. Secondly, Ernie, you want to take that one first?
Yeah, I'm tripping out over here right now. That's awesome. I am. Yeah, in all honesty, and I'm sure everybody would be shocked by it. It's not a Star Wars or a Transformers one, but it's just what we've been talking about recently since these shows because I loved it so much and it was the one that combined both of them. I think I would go back and get all of the mask figures. The
Really?
whole oh yeah. What was it called? Boulder was it Boulder Station or
Okay, yeah, I think
Boulder
so.
Boulder Hill?
Okay.
See, like, because my friend had that. So I always had those couple that I had, and it was like all my school friends had everything else. So when we would play at lunch or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, we would like have the whole collection. You know, everything was brought together. And somebody even have that. So to go back with that, because it's such not it's not a large collection, like it's something that could be obtainable and
Mm-hmm.
able to get, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It would actually be the mass figures, and even more so, all those 2-pack figures and accessories that they got out. I always
Yeah.
thought that that was the coolest thing to get because if your mom said no to a car, you could always get the figures. And then at that, they were in different costumes and different accessories. You know, the masks were different, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Those were that was legit for me. Like, yeah, definitely. If I could go back, I would get the whole mask collection.
Dario, what about you, sir?
Oh man. Um, if I can go back and I had the money to do everything, I would definitely want to collect all the turtle stuff, like the vehicles, all the not just the figures, but like everything in that line,
Mm-hmm.
and also the WWF stuff, like the the figures when you push down they jump up.
My neighbor, he had all of that. Like I would go over to his house and he had all of that stuff. He had all of those wrestlers. He had the ring, like you name it. Like he had all that stuff, man.
Yeah, like I see them at my comic shop every now and then, and I'm like just like amazed by like the pricing on opened ones. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they do get a like mint and card ones, I'm like, wow, like I would have never imagined.
Hmm.
My boy Caesar, he's going back and like slowly, collecting them again, and he's like asking me sometimes, like, dude, like, is this right? Like, are these like, you know, this the right price? I was like, yeah, man. Like from what I've seen, like it's crazy. But like, I remember those because those what I used to. Those are like the few toys that I used to have, and I would play with every once in a while. And I remember that because I used to love watching wrestling back in the day. And when those came out, I wanted all of them, man. I wanted all of them.
Yeah, I like I said, I had the I guess was lucky enough to mess with them because I didn't really care about wrestling that much. So like my neighbor, he was all about it. So it was like, oh, okay, I'll mess with this stuff, and some of it was really cool, man. Like I remember liking the Ultimate Warrior one. The Hulk one was cool. There was a lot of them that were really cool. I think for me, the one that I would probably go back and dive deep into would be GI Joe. Like I'm gonna agree with Beardy right here. Like I would get the flag. I would get all of that because like when I got into GI Joe, like I was younger, so I missed out on a lot of the early stuff. And I remember I had a neighbor down the street, and he was older, and he had a lot of the older stuff, but it was all messed up and tore up and everything. And it was, it was pretty cool to like mess with it, but it was still just like, oh man, like there's a lot of this stuff that I missed out on. Like for instance, like Ernie was like the like prime age for GI Joe.
Mm-hmm. I had, like I was telling you, I had a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You knew how to. We knew how to fix our figures. You had
Yeah,
O rings and hair ties and his tanks and rattlers and motorcycles and everything. GI Joe was like it. It was all there. You were coming up with something in your head for sure with GI Joe,
oh,
and then like
there was no limits, man. Like
right,
I would sit in my front yard for hours with the ones that I had. Like I could be out there all day long just
yeah,
messing around with my Joe figures. Like, like we had these little like kind of like what is it? Like, like a watering line for like the trees and stuff. And so I would like dam up certain areas or open certain areas and let water run through and like have them like fight within like the water. And
yeah,
dude, I'd be out there like all day. Like it
yeah,
was, weather permitting, obviously. Like if it was cold, that really wasn't happening too often. But, in the summertime and stuff,
yeah.
like, oh, I just, all right, and it was weird because I had it dedicated to like G.I. Joe was the only line of figures that I was like, okay, these I'll play with in the dirt. Like I'll get all crazy with these. Like later on when I got X-Men and Batman stuff, I was like I would play with them outside, but they never touched the ground. Like we had a brick wall, and I would play with them on top of like the brick wall and stuff. But GI Joe, like it was like all bets were off. It could go anywhere and do anything.
It was very cool with GI Joe too because they had such a diverse amount of characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, everybody had a GI Joe, like you're saying. In my prime, there was always a GI Joe thrown in your mix with whatever you're playing with. Mask, He-Man, Transformers. There was always a Joe there.
Mm-hmm.
Always. It didn't matter.
Yeah, there like no matter where you went or what you did, like if you went to someone's house, right, you would always find at least one Joe somewhere.
Or an arm laying there.
Yeah, or a weapon.
Yeah, nothing was bigger than like at least to me from what I can remember, like late 80s, early 90s, nothing was bigger to me than Joe's and Transformers.
Yeah.
Like it was one or the other. You had something from one or the other, like you're saying. Like no matter what you had one of those two franchises in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Was Joe's and Transformers.
Yeah, I remember I had the original little Bumblebee, and I thought that thing was just the coolest little transformer ever, and I always wanted Optimus Prime. I never got him as a kid. So I think that's why like when I was old enough, when I got older, I guess like I was like, "Oh, I'm going wild with all these
Right.
Optimus Primes cuz I never got him. I never had him, man." I remember just I remember wanting the original Metal Mask Cobra Commander. I never had that either.
Hmm.
And tell you what, I got plenty of Cobra Commanders now.
Yeah, right.
As I sit amongst my 10 Optimus Primes here.
Yeah, as I sit amongst my castle of Optimus Primes and Cobra Commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Felipe said he would go back and get all the Motu figures and play sets.
That would be cool, man. That would be real cool.
Well, let's
And
get
but you know what's so cool about that? Like he said he would go back and get them, and like that's awesome. But you can still get them now, man. They're making a whole new
Oh yeah, the whole new
Um,
vintage whatever.
oh man, I'm
Snake
going so
Mountain.
blank. Snake Mountain, dude, that thing is humongous.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge.
Yeah, they did
Like-
what was it? Mattel did that Castle Grayskull too.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh man, like, but you know what it is? Like, a lot of people don't go support these things, so like they die out so fast. Like, and everybody always wants to scream out, "I wish we can get our old figures back." And when they do something similar to it, there's no support, and it can't work that way. I mean, I know the pricing is different from back in the day till now, but if you think about it, whatever price it was, $5, it was a lot back then compared to the 20, 25, 30 that they are now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like, it's all the same at the end of the day, but at least for that, like we just started getting Joe's back. Motu has been around for a few years now. And
a few? What do you? It's been that it just kind of like it's. I don't think it ever went away, man. Like when
yeah,
they,
it's always like
honestly
it's
gonna
always
say
just
that.
lingering there. It's always just lingering there.
well, Masters of the Universe Classics like
Yeah.
rocked. Like it just barely phased out. And it wasn't even because it wasn't doing well with Super 7. Like, Super 7 was still pumping out Masters of the Universe Classic stuff
Mm-hmm.
until Mattel said, give me that. That's mine.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, it's still, it has kept going.
Hey Cheney,
Beard.
since Jesse brought up the super chat question, his answer was his Kenner Jurassic Park collection.
Ooh, that's a
He would-
good one.
He would like that back. Can we bring that up? Because
Yeah.
honestly, is Jurassic Park that old that it was Kenner? Like I'm totally clueless
Oh,
to
yeah.
this.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
this is like when it first came out.
See, so I was probably a little bit too older, and I read that, and I'm like, Kenner,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had like the old vehicles and everything like that too. Like the little Jeeps. That's where it all like came from.
Mm-hmm.
Since you're looking for that, Beardy said he would have bought more 18-inch Toy Biz Spider-Mans when they got down to $20.
Yeah. Yeah. KB.
KV, yep.
No.
And we kicked him on our way out.
Not even that. It's just they were piled everywhere. I think
I
that
know
they
that's
were,
what I'm saying.
they were the bricks of the store.
Wow, look at that. Kenner Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and then they had like little panels that you could tear the flesh off to reveal the bones and flesh.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I remember
Yeah.
Michael had some of those.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, look at there was a little panel and you could snap that on.
Okay. And funny, as you say that, I think he had that one right there that you bring up, but what was riding it? A G.I. Joe. Yep.
Yeah, I remember the commercial, I think, for this this Jeep or whatever. Yeah, it's got capture gear, real feel skin, and dino damage, so you could tear off the front of the vehicle here. Electronic T-Rex attacks Jungle Patrol dino damage. Yeah, they had some cool commercials for this. I remember.
Yeah, man. Jurassic Park. People forget how huge it was when it first came out. Man.
Oh, it was
beyond like. It was just huge. It was the movie itself and everything around it. The hype was real.
Dude, I want to say that, you know, like the guys that collect this stuff, the Jurassic Park stuff, like they don't get enough love. They don't get enough what's the word I'm looking for? It just everything else seems to overshadow the Jurassic Park stuff. You know what I mean? When there's a real deep fan base that, you know, still wants and loves this stuff.
Were those vehicles original or were those from Joe's or anything?
I don't know.
So I'm gonna have to ask my friend. Actually, I have a friend. That's all he does is exactly what you're saying. All he does is collect Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
So I give him my list and he gives me his list.
Nice.
And we're both constantly, like I always said, whatever you don't collect is what you're always finding. And I'm constantly sending him pictures of all those. Because again, like you're saying, we don't collect it. And all those dang dinosaurs hanging there all look the same to me.
Yeah. Like I just,
Yeah.
like, unless it's something that like, I'm like, I'm like, you know what? I could probably use something like that. Let me go look at those. I know there's some dinosaurs over there. Maybe I could fudge something in there, or like,
Yeah.
the T-Rex, for example. It's like you walk by that and you're like, yeah, there's no way that's not coming home with me. Like,
I've legit sent him pictures and then he told me to grab the one and I'm like, okay. And I sent him a picture until I actually literally had to FaceTime him. And which one is it?
yeah, which one is it that you require, sir?
Yeah.
So,
That's pretty awesome.
heck yeah. Well, we are getting to the point here where we're about to gonna need to wrap this up.
Real quick, Lago Fake said he wants the Toy Biz animated series line. Let's see. Eddie Ill said, "Do you remember Consumer Catalog? Only way to get my Joes."
That name's familiar. It sounds familiar. I remember.
Nick said, "Oh, my bad. Go ahead."
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Thick Nick said, "I'd go back in time and buy Amazing Fantasy 15." Don't know what that is.
Go ahead and Google that right now, Dario, and then you'll know. Yeah, I would stick with toys if it got to that, like, like I would yeah, I would stick with toys. Oh,
the comic.
Yeah. Yeah, Diego probably wants to fight you now because Spider-Man's his like end all be all.
I don't read comics, man. So I was doing hood rat things with my friends.
Yep.
Jesse Lewis was like, that was 1992, 93, but man, I had all the dinos, humans, vehicles, and compounds. Sold it all for $50.
Oh.
My biggest regret today.
Oh man.
Hey man, I can relate, man. When you you do these things, you're a little kid and you say $50 and to you that's like, I can buy this all over again.
Yeah.
Like I had those giant sized turtles. I had all of them and I sold them all for 50 cents a pop. And the only thing that got popped that night was my behind from my mama, because she was like, "Are you crazy?" Oh man. But I can relate, man. You know what? Forget buying stuff. If I can go back, I would tell myself, keep them.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say that my dad was real cool about that. Like, he was always like, you can keep it. He's all, just, put it in a box and we'll, don't try and sell it. Just leave it here with me. And so a lot of like that old stuff I still have, like I was saying, what was it, a couple weeks ago, I finally got to the point where it's all getting kind of like organized now, and like it's all getting like put back together the way it used to be, because it got kind of like spread out for a little bit. So all right.
Hey, real quick, who was asking for the child?
Felipe
Thundercrow just put in that it's available right now on Hasbro Pulse.
Ooh, there you go.
So thanks, guys. That's how we work. That's what we always do, is help each other out. So there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yes, Jesse Lewis. That is the Amazing Fantasy. Yes. Did we talk about the highly priced one?
$30,000 to $50,000 comic.
Yep.
Jeez.
Alrighty. Well, we will be back at 9 p.m. Pacific time, 12 a.m. Eastern.
Yes.
So if you guys want to hop back on, we're going to talk about a bunch of the stuff that had dropped today, a lot of the, basically the normal show. So
we'll go over my stuff yesterday, and I also have info on the another Joe coming out that will be a fan channel exclusive.
Oh yes, we could have brought that up today. So, but tune in. Yeah,
Yeah.
tune in tonight at 9 p.m. You'll find out what the GI Joe fan channel exclusive is. How's that sound?
There you go.
All right. As always, I am Cheney 180.
I'm the Fallen Fett.
I'm 80s baby.
Don't forget to hit that like, thumbs up, sub if you have not already. Thank you so much to Mr. Jesse Lewis for giving us our very first super chat. That was very generous of you, sir. Thank you so much.
And for you wondering how he did that, it's the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the comments bar. If you click that, you'll see what that is.
All right. And with that being said, remember,